friends, family, students, hope everything is going for you however it's going. I hope that you're responding to it in a way that's graceful and loving and gentle with yourself. Okay, so big thought today, wellness versus performance. For a really long time, I chased performance without paying attention to my wellness. So what do I mean by that? I competed in jiu-jitsu for a long time, and I trained jiu-jitsu for a long time, jiu-jitsu submission wrestling, and my body was falling apart because I was constantly following performance protocols. And honestly, my body just wasn't ready for performance protocols. I started lifting weights when I was like probably 8. I was doing the Bowflex with my dad, and then lifting weights and doing pull-ups and calisthenics. And honestly, while doing jiu-jitsu, so many problems came up throughout the process. I herniated 4 discs, like bulging discs and herniations, tore both my rotator cuffs, among other tissue in the shoulders, my hips, my knee, my right ankle, and there was no fixing it. Like, I went to PT, I went to acupuncturists, and nobody really gave me like long-term solutions. It was just like, you're kind of stuck with this minimal pain for a long time. And if you've heard that before, it's very like deflating, because you're hoping, you come to this professional and you're hoping that they're able to get rid of the pain. That's essentially what we want. We want to get rid of the pain, not put a Band-Aid on it. When I tore my ankle, I wore an ankle brace for at least 18 months. I just kept re-injuring it over and over and over and over again. My neck and shoulder, re-injured it at least like 100 times. My shoulder would like pop out of its socket 2 or 3 times a week when I was training. And honestly, it was frustrating. I used to get sick all the time. I used to get ringworm on my skin. I used to get migraines. I just didn't feel well. And when I would go to these practitioners, they would just give me a pill or give me something to drink or some sort of injection or an inhaler or something that would mask the symptom, but it always came back. And a lot of times it came back with a vengeance. There was a point where it was just like I would get injured at least once a week, at least. Some sort of injury. In jiu-jitsu, we call it micro disabilities, because these injuries stay with you forever pretty much. So it's rough, because when we train jiu-jitsu, when we train martial arts, when we do things with our life, we want to be able to do it for a long time because we enjoy it. I like to say jiu-jitsu, when I found jiu-jitsu, I fell in love. I found jiu-jitsu when I was like maybe 19, 20. And I fell in love. I used to say, this is the most amount of fun I've ever had with my clothes on. And I mean it. Jiu-jitsu is so fun. Brazilian jiu-jitsu is so fun. Grappling is so fun. It's so natural. And it just sucks that our bodies aren't built in the current modern world to withstand that kind of trauma, those kind of ligament pulls and tendon pulls and pushes, and it's just we're not built for that in our current paradigm. I mean, most of us sit in front of a computer or I don't know, last year the average American sat, I think it was like 16 hours a day, 13 hours a day. 13 to 15. That's where the number is in my head. That's a lot of hours. And sitting does no like good deeds for the body. The body just starts to stiffen and get very, very fragile in a lot of ways. So with my program, with this process, I help your joints, your body, your mind become not just resilient. Resilient is the first step, but later, as Nassim Taleb says, anti-fragile. And anti-fragile is when any tweak, any injury, any pain, any change, any chaos, the way that he describes it is it's a system that improves from chaos or change. So building a body that improves from stress as opposed to deteriorates and breaks down. When you go train or you go work out or practice, how often do you feel 100% recovered? You know, like how hard can you push it and know that like you're good? You're good, you know? How often do you maybe get a tweak somewhere? Because you will get tweaks. But how often do you not just recover from that tweak and that injury, but you come back better than you were before you got injured? Very rare. Very rare. I very rarely see it. It's crazy, but I very rarely see it. Our bodies are falling apart. I mean, they're falling apart 100% because we're dying every day. But the reality is, it's like you don't have to feel terrible. You don't have to feel like you got hit by a truck every morning that you wake up. Whatever you practice, whether it's CrossFit, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whether it's some other martial art, whether it's powerlifting, like you don't have to feel like shit. You can feel anti-fragile. You can feel great. You can feel powerful. You can feel recovered and rested. You can feel like your brain is working, like you're not forgetting things. It's very often in our sports, in the performance world, we look at somebody and we're like, wow, this person has a pristine body. But then their mind is going, right? They don't remember things. They get headaches. They don't remember where they put their sports bag or their keys, you know, or they have debilitating lower back pain, or their neck and their shoulder hurts all the time. And they push through it. Why? Because they're beasts. But you can fix those things. You don't have to push through them. Through these processes of correcting dysfunctions in the body, correcting your breathing dysfunction, correcting your movement dysfunction, correcting your nutritional dysfunction, correcting your mindset dysfunction, correcting your lack of community of other people that want to grow. Once you correct those things, like it's magic starts to happen in your life. You get unblocked because right now you're blocked. Creatively, maybe professionally you're open, creatively you're blocked, maybe it's in your relationships you're blocked, somewhere you're blocked, and you're holding on to that somewhere in your body. That's essentially where a lot of these injuries come from or going, right? Like, who knows? But a lot, like, if you get injured, if you get sad, if you get angry, like, where is that emotion kept? It's kept in the body. So what we're talking about here is increasing your level of physical intelligence. Because through the physical intelligence, we're able to alter our emotional intelligence, we're able to alter our spiritual intelligence, and possibly our IQ. Because our body is the oldest device that we have. It's the one that's the most mature. It's the one that's been around for so long. If we're talking about evolution, I mean, they had bodies, right? Like when they started being multi-celled organisms, and then they kept growing. But the physical body is so important. The prefrontal cortex is relatively newer in this advent, and it hasn't adjusted to the stressors that we have in this current life. So increasing your physical intelligence by becoming well. You know, the shamans, they say when you purge, when you drink medicine and you purge, they say you're getting well. They don't say you're sick. They say you're getting well because you're letting go of everything that you're not. Everything that doesn't belong inside of you, you let go. And we use physical intelligence to squeeze it out of our tissues. Squeeze it out of our tissues and accept everything that we are. Build up new tissues that are functional, that are powerful, that are pristine. That's what we're doing. We're building that emotional intelligence in the body. We're building that emotional intelligence in the body so that it can transfer to whatever it else is that you're doing, but you're doing it better. The more physically intelligent you are, the more capacity you have for stressors. The more capacity you have for stressors, the more you can handle in your life. The more you get to choose. The more you get to choose how you respond to situations that come up in your life. And when you respond, you're not reacting. You're not overreacting. You're not underreacting and shutting down. Everybody's different, so everybody has their own way of running away in fight or flight or freeze or buy, right? Shopping, that's the new one. When we increase our physical intelligence, we tune in to our body, we tune in to our mind, we tune in to an ancient intelligence that tells us, hey, take it easy, it's time to rest. Be gentle with yourself today. Or, you can go harder today. Or, today is going to be a beautiful workout. Whatever it is that this thing is telling you internally. Maybe it's telling you your next book that you're writing. Maybe it's opening up creative avenues where you're painting or drawing. When we increase our physical intelligence and our capacity for stress and we turn off the fear, right? Because we become in our body. And when we start to turn off that fear, what happens? Well, love starts to pour in, prana, chi, life energy. It starts to pour in. And what does that do for you? It opens up your creativity. It opens up your creativity. It opens up your capacity to love yourself, to love others. Like when you love on your body, when you love on this temple that you've been given, you're able to create whatever performance you're looking to create. You're able to truly enjoy life again in this body. There's no separation, body, well, body, right? Body, mind, right? Maybe this is our primary intelligence. The intuitive center, right here. And it needs more energy, life energy. So we're reteaching it how to breathe back when we weren't so stressed. We didn't have so many external and internal stressors. That's what we're doing. We're reteaching the body how to breathe. We're reteaching it how to move. We're reteaching it how to truly feel and not need to run away to our addictions. We give it a good way to pass the time through movement. As one of my teachers, Ido, said, this is a great way to pass the time. When we move, that's what we are made to do. We were made to move. That's how we evolve, through movement. Hunting, surviving, fighting. Now we have creativity and art forms. There's dance, there's gymnastics, there's so much. There's so much you can explore out in nature and even more inside of yourself. Like, what would you feel like if you didn't have these same aches and pains? What would you be able to do if you knew you can handle it? What would you go for? What would you try if fear didn't cripple you? What kind of life would you live? What kind of love would you give? What kind of joy would you share? What would your smile look like? What would your eyes look like when you smile? Who would you be if you could truly be yourself? You came here to experience this life and then move on to somewhere else, whatever the next adventure is. Relax. It's all good. It's all good. It's all in here. It's all in here. The outer world is just a reflection of the inner world. Whatever's happening inside is just reflecting out to the world. So when you do this work, and you feed your soul, peace. Om Shanti Om. Peace. Peace. Peace inside of yourself, peace outside of yourself. Peace. When you do the work, you create peace. That's what I'm offering. For you to do the work and create the peace. But it doesn't have to be a war going on inside anymore. You got this. Like, you are a miracle of nature. You're an incredible human being. Everything that you've ever done has led to this specific moment. So just let's learn how to enjoy the moment. Not worry about tomorrow or what happened yesterday, be upset about yesterday. Let's figure out how to live in this moment. Through our body, through our physical intelligence, through our physical awareness, our self-awareness, awareness of self, awareness of self. You're a beautiful being. You got this. If I could support you in any way, join me. Join me on this adventure. If not, good luck. All love. All peace. I'll see you guys in another video or blog post or some other way this internet machine works. Or maybe at a live event. Or maybe in class. We'll see. Check out the Wellness Dojo. Check out romzod.com. Bunch of testimonials there from people that I've worked with. I think you might resonate, you might not. If you do, I'd love to have you. If not, all good. It's all good, baby, baby.